Well, after a pancake or two, we get ready for the season called Lent, which is a 40-day period in which we go through fasting, prayer, reflection and penance, leading up to Easter. That's always put a bit of a downer on Lent for me. And because of that, and because of the way the world is at the moment, with some of our leaders going AWOL, I thought we should put together something which would lighten the mood a bit and try and give us something positive to look forward to. You may ask where this name came from, Lenten Paeans, and it's pronounced Paean, I believe. At least that's what Google tells me.
Right. Good old Google.
I was thinking of Psalms and things like that, and it just didn't ring true enough, so I let the thesaurus pick a new word for me, and it came up with this PN, and I thought, that sounds like
it's
something.
One.
Yeah. Bit close to pain. So if we're going to give up something for Lent, let's, rather than focusing on giving up things for ourselves, give up the ways of the world and look forward rather in love, hope, faith, and get something positive out of this so we can enjoy Lent a bit more. So each day we're going to look at a passage from our Bibles and have a chat about what we see and look for something positive that we can go away with. There's so much that people don't like about Lent because it's all about giving things up that you don't want to give up and things like that, or at least that's what people imagine.
Yes, that's the intention.
So we start the ball rolling with a few verses, actually 11 verses, from chapter 4 of the Gospel of Matthew, and this is just paraphrased. It's not taken directly from the Bible. We're going to come back to this, so don't focus too heavily on the nitty-gritty of the words, but just try and look for a positive aspect we can take away from it.
Okay.
So we begin at verse 1. Next, Jesus was taken into the wild by the Spirit for the test, and the devil was ready to give it. Jesus first prepared by fasting 40 days and 40 nights. You see that little link there between Lent? There's a few places in the Bible that say 40 days and 40 nights. That left him really hungry, which the devil took advantage of. Since you are God's son, just say these words and turn these stones into loaves of bread. Jesus answered, quoting the scriptures, "It takes more than bread to stay alive. It takes a steady stream of words from God's mouth." For the second test, the devil took him up to the holy city and sat him at the top of the temple, saying, "Since you are God's son, jump." The devil even quoted some scripture, saying, "He has placed you in the care of angels. They will catch you so that you won't as much as stub your toe," or foot, or whatever it is in their words. But Jesus rebuked it with another part of scripture: "Don't test the Lord your God." So for the third test, the devil took him up to the peak of a huge mountain. He gestured with arms wide open, pointing out all the earth's kingdoms, how glorious they all were. Then he said, they're yours, lock, stock and barrel. Just go down on your knees and worship me. That's all you've got to do. Jesus refused. Get out of here, Satan, and quoted scriptures again. He's good at that. Worship the Lord your God and only him. Serve him with your whole heart. The test was over. The devil left. And in his place, angels. Angels came to take care of Jesus' needs. So, as you may have noticed, we've got Rev Greg here. What things does this passage conjure up? And what can you say to let people look forward to something?
I think what's quite humbling for me in that passage is that, even Jesus, somebody who's come to earth, as human but also divine, is still being tempted.
Yes.
Even Jesus isn't exempt from being tempted and tested, just as we all are. And I think that's quite humbling to know, that even Jesus is being tempted and tested. But he obviously has much greater willpower than we do sometimes when we're tempted.
Just a
little bit. To resist those temptations. And obviously we know temptations come in many different forms. It could be that temptation to want to eat that bar of chocolate we've got in the cupboard, even though we probably shouldn't eat all of that bar. Eat all of that. Or it can be much greater temptations, that perhaps that envy or that unkind something we've got inside us that we're tempted to come out, and we have to try and resist that temptation because we know it's not going to have a positive outcome. So that's really positive for me in that, even Jesus experiences temptation. But what I'm really struck with as we get to the end of the passage, and it talks about angels coming to care for him. And I think we all experience that ourselves. We all have a group of people around us that we could regard as angels, as people who look after us and care for us. And sometimes they know when life is being a little bit much for us and we're being tested in life, and we can have that lovely group of people that come and surround us with love and care and recognise that we're struggling a bit like Jesus was struggling there. He was being tempted, he was being tested. So I think that's quite humbling and comforting to know.
So could we turn that on its head and say that we could be like angels for others?
Rather than putting ourselves in the position of Jesus being tempted, we can look at that in that other role in the story of being angels and keeping an eye on other people and looking for other people who are being tested in life with all the wide range of struggles that we contend with on our in the day-to-day humdrum of life, and just to look out for other people and be there to care for them and pick them up at the end there.
I think we can all get something out of scriptures just by reading it daily. So that's what we are going to try and do. Thank you, Greg, for joining me, and
pleasure.
Thank you for joining us as well. God bless.
Thank you very much.
We hope and pray these sessions will give you something positive to see and look forward to, and what can only be described as our very negative world at the moment. If you would like to be a part of this series of chats, please do get in contact with us, and if we have space remaining, we will certainly try to include as many people as we can, bearing in mind it will take a few days to organize, shoot the videos, edit them and publish them. You can see this series unfold on our church YouTube channel at St. Felix, Rendlesham, by visiting our church website, rendleshamchurch.org. And if you wish to contact us, please do so on info@rendleshamchurch.org. We hope this will be a positive experience for us all. God bless.